All right. So the first subject now is, we're kind of talking election thing and getting into that conversation. So as we touched on the subject last week of Ice Cube, because this had just happened last Wednesday. I would say Ice Cube was in hot water. One of my puns, my legendary puns, for basically dealing with Trump, working with Trump, and his Ice Cube has his contract with Black America. Which is an agenda of things that he's proposing for the Black community. He said he talked to the Biden team and the Trump team, and the Biden team, they said, okay, we like most of what you have there. Let's work on implementing it after the election, right? We don't have the power right now, but let's work on implementing it. They didn't say anything about it because they weren't trying to use Cube for some political prop.
Right. Though.
Yeah. So the Trump campaign now, obviously they're looking to make political capital out of anything. So they went and they broadcast all over the place, and so then Ice Cube was on on the defense all week long. So that's one thing. Now, a few days after that, 50 Cent, it's kind of what everything got 50. He's like a classic internet troll to me. I don't know what y'all think, but so he
that's
put
how he
out,
started his career.
Yeah,
Trolling other rappers.
But
it's a ploy. It's a plot. It's a game.
Before it was called trolling, right?
Yeah.
So he posted something about vote for Trump because he showed them about the tax rates and the difference with the increased taxes for people who make more than $400,000 a year, and I guess show what that percentage would amount to. And then he was like, vote Trump, right? Whether serious or not, it just that's what he did. And so now what the Trump campaign did is now Photoshop a picture of Ice Cube and 50. We're at some Knicks game or some basketball game, wearing caps, non-Trump caps. Yeah, this is a while back. So they photoshopped Trump caps on both of them. not a cap like what Tex have on. Not that was cap. So that photoshopped them with Trump caps on there. And then Eric Trump, Donald's last son, I think, then made a post, saying something, two courageous Americans, Trump caps on, to which Cube replied, nigga, please, right? But basically, once you put yourself out there like that, now it's an easy target for them to kind of exploit you even further. And that's what's going on. So I say all that as a background to talk about the Trump campaign, their efforts towards targeting Black men, right? Black men specifically. So I didn't realize the percentage was this high, but in the 2016 election, 14% of Black men voted for Trump. 14. Yes, there's a large percentage who didn't, but that's high to me. Yeah. 14% of Black men. For Black women, it was like less than 2% who voted for Trump. In talking about polling for this year, they said about 13% of Black men indicate they want to vote for Trump again, and about 6% of Black women. So my question is, why do you think, and I'll start off with the lady, why do you think there is a discrepancy? Yes, I'm going to start off with you. So come off your phone or your laptop, whatever you're doing, and answer the question. Why do you think there's a discrepancy in the way that Black men and Black women view Donald Trump particular? Bring some insight as our lone female representative. If you need to think about it, I can come back to you. You can vibe on. Come back to you. Boy, you better close it with some knowledge.
Yeah, you better come with it. If you're going to go last, you better come with it.
Listen, Listen,
All right.
it's been a long day.
Hey.
Nah, we don't want to hear all that. We all work. You ain't the only one with a job. Anyway, see, there they go. These black women. Anyway, Tex, what do you say? Why do you think that there's a? Well, look, we know overwhelmingly black people do not support Trump, but I think that's a pretty significant gap between how men view it and how women view it.
It really is, but I can tell you the major difference. Real simple. My answer is short. Tax bracket, money. It's the amount of money you could save by the implementation of laws by Trump versus, basically not even by Trump, by the Republicans versus the Democrats. It's financial as far as that's concerned. Most of the people that I've come in encounter with that are supporters of Trump are wealthy individuals that are Republican.
So you're all.
Well, I'm saying, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday through Sunday, you know how I go. But yeah, I mean, it's real simple. It's basically tax break. It comes down to dollars and cents.
Straight economics.
Yeah, because you can't tell me that this man's personality and the ethics, come across as something that you would want to represent or follow or anything like that. So it really just comes down to money.
Yeah. I've heard that, and from the conversations I've had, the black men that I know who do support Trump, same thing. We can argue if that makes sense or not. The economic argument just in itself, but that's the argument I've heard most often. Especially what you say.
First of all, I don't trust that statistic. I'll tell you that right off the bat.
You don't trust one like Butcher.
Listen, I've heard the Trump campaign. Everybody know that, of course, the Biden campaign said over 400,000, we're going to raise taxes on them. Do you know how the Republicans rephrase that? They paraphrase that?
Oh.
They're saying that the Biden campaign is going to raise taxes on 1 out of every 4 persons. Right?
Yeah.
So just the whole way.
We know them lie already. We know that.
Right. And secondly, I know a lot of black people, and I don't know none that support Trump.
Yeah.
I agree that
I know a few.
I do.
Right?
I know a few.
But listen, towards Tech's speech, we have a lot of celebrities and we have a lot of athletes that are black, that are in that tax bracket that probably going to get taxes raised on them. So I can see how they might even think about supporting Trump's plan because of the money that they can save. But, because of course, the NFL filled up with young, rich black men. The NBA, same thing. We have a lot of athletes that make a lot of money. And a lot of them would like to save a lot of money. So that is the only way I would
consider
that they would want to support Trump just to save some money.
So you agree with Tex? Straight economics. Whether the economic argument makes sense, you think the reason that so much more black, women don't like money too? They like money too. So why don't they have the same economic argument?
Well, it's the same argument on both sides.
It look like you're ready.
A lot of women looking for security, and they can see how Trump's policies can help them financially. Of course, I think they probably go to the other side. But
so why that big gap?
A celebrity like Jazz would understand, that hey, I might have to vote for Trump because I'm making certain amount and I need to save back some of it. So, let's hear what she has to say.
So, Jazzy, yeah, go on. You've heard the discussion.
She look like she's doing her research over there. What you got?
Yeah, you researching? We're ready for you.
I'm trying to complete my pear deck for tomorrow.
No. You trying to what?
I'm trying to complete my pear deck presentation. Nevertheless,
no. We know you're not that. Go on. We need insight. Why is that? Why that gap?
In summation, I'm gonna have to piggyback off of the male counterparts and say
You
more
don't have
money,
to.
more money, more money. Trump.
So women don't like money?
We love money, but I mean, economically speaking, even though we are now in position to make money and have, acquire large jobs and make wealth.
All right.
It's still more men in those positions.
All right. So let me rather than ask it that way, I'm going to ask it this way, Jazzy, because I knew I wanted to talk about this topic, so I asked a few others why they think that discrepancy exists. And so one perspective I've heard is that women, generally speaking, being more emotional, generally speaking, are more. It would matter to them more whether or not they like somebody, right? So whereas let's say men can be like, I don't like him, I think he's an asshole, but I like his policies, so I'll vote for him, right? So put it in that basket versus women generally. So you know what? I don't care if those policies would benefit me. I don't care about any of that. He's just a mean person. He's a bad person.
Well, I mean,
I can't support anybody like that.
You can go with that. You can go with that. That too. I mean, given the state of America under the Trump administration, where mothers have lost sons, mothers have lost husbands, mothers have lost daughters, jobs. Under this administration, of course, being a mother, that matters.
Yeah.
Being a mother, being a wife, being a sister, it matters. So those are things that we never forget, and we won't forget, no matter what he's promising or lying about promising. Those are etched in our brains. Yep. And so, yeah, I can definitely.
Yeah. So I think, I think it. I can see the logic in that. That regardless of what I feel about him policy-wise, I just can't fool with him as a person. He reminds me of every bad boyfriend I ever dealt with in my life, right? I just can't deal with anybody like that, or the asshole boss at work who was, with the misogyny, sexual harassment. It's just, I can't look at my economic tax benefits over, seeing him in that light. You know what I mean?
And women don't like being lied to.
They don't?
And that's why my wife always does. Why is it that my wife always?
So Linus, the police.
What police say? Are we taking police comments tonight?
Yeah. He said.
What she said?
She said his own wife no business with him, so she's piggybacking on what Special just said. She also says people are not making informed decisions. They have zero clue about where they're supporting Trump.
Yeah. So I think it's something to be mindful of. And the Trump campaign said, like I said, 14% of black men voted for him in 2014. They said they're targeting 20% this year. And
not
so,
even the thing will have gone to. Not even the thing will have gone to.
But look here. So here's the thing. It's not that they really have to get that 20, and it's not that they're trying to win black male support. They're just trying to, they're trying to make you not go vote for Biden. They're trying. That's their target. If we can shave off enough black men, and so their specific target is, disaffected black men who are like, oh, both sides are doing nothing. Life has really. If we had a black president, nothing has really changed. And that kind of basic argument that everything has to be fixed. So, and because overwhelmingly black people support Democrats, try something different because it hasn't worked out. And that really is a strategy of the Republican Party. That's why they stand in the way and block progress so much, because they want you to get frustrated and say nothing is happening, nothing is changing. And because many people, there are enough people who don't really understand exactly how things work,
Exactly.
You know, realize that these things don't happen overnight, they get frustrated and say, you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference who I vote for. That's what they're counting on. You know,
so there's a quote that I read today by Franklin D. Roosevelt. It says, "In politics, nothing happens by accident. If it happens, you can bet it was planned." And that's the way it is.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest strategy the Republicans are used to stop black vote. Have to lock up as much as they can and then shoot the rest. Is that what they're trying to? Because that is why we would think
especially
that they're funding the police.
Especially when
lock them up and shoot them.
Yeah, lock them up and shoot them.
I can't disagree with it.
You know, or have the Proud Boys stand up at the polling station and ask each and every one of them who you
They're standing by right now. They're standing by.
Yeah, standing by. Yeah. You know,
stand by.
I think basically what their strategy overall is to get people. So Republicans benefit the less people who vote, right? So if we can frustrate you about the process and say, "Oh, screw it, I'm not going to vote for any of them. I'm chilling today." They want that. That benefits them. If they can make it harder and harder for you to vote, put up all these roadblocks, you know, where, you know, the voter ID and all these different things to just make it harder. We're like, you know what? I don't have time for all this. I'm just going to go do something else.